Hi everyone, welcome to the course Become a Business Analyst, your path to success. As discussed earlier, this course is structured based on Babok guide and for simplicity divided into 9 comprehensive modules. We have already completed module 1, module 2 and module 3. Module 1 provides an introduction to business analysis specially designed for those from non-IT backgrounds or those new to the field. Module 2 focuses on the Babok knowledge area strategy analysis, where we explored how to define business needs, access organizational capabilities, and recommend effective solutions. Module 3 covers the Babok knowledge area business analysis planning and monitoring, that is BAMP, where we explored planning business analysis work, identifying stakeholders, then selecting techniques for requirement elicitation and monitoring the performance of business analysis activities. So all these things we have covered in the module 3 as well. So for ease of navigation, each tutorial video is marked sequentially, making it easy for you to follow. If you have any doubts or need a refresher, feel free to revisit the specific tutorial covering that topic. All relevant documents and helpful links are available in the video description for quick access. Now we are at module 4 of this tutorial series, where we will explore another knowledge area of Babok guide, that is requirements lifecycle management, RLCM, and the steps involved. Along with that, we will also see the steps involved in RLCM. So without further delay, let's kick off tutorial 12 and uncover the secrets of requirement lifecycle management. Requirement lifecycle management is the process of tracking, monitoring, and controlling requirements from the moment they are identified until they are implemented and used in a solution. In short, here we are saying that once requirement is identified, we don't just write it down and forget about it. We track it, we update it if required, and guide it all the way until it's part for the final solution. It's like managing the full journey of requirement from idea to reality. Well, next point, it ensures that requirements stay relevant, traceable, and properly approved throughout the project. Well, this means we make sure that all requirements still make sense as the project moves forward, that we can trace them back to where they came from, then they have properly, whether they are properly approved or not. And it's all about keeping things relevant, trackable, and sign off at the right time. Means, requirement getting sign off by the stakeholder is also one of the important thing. Now let's breaking it down simply. Here we cover point by point. Well, first point is it starts when a requirement is created and ends when it is implemented or retired. Retired means not required. Well, think like that. We'll take an example. The example is that the user should be able to reset their password. Okay, this is the requirement came straight from the stakeholder. Now this requirements life begins when we write it down and ends means this write it down means we have noted down that what is the requirement from stakeholder, then it goes to the developer develop it's something like that, and means its life begins still the moment we start note it down. In short, what I actually trying to tell you, and ends when this feature is live means it life begins from the point we it noted down and its end when the feature is live means now end user are using this particular feature or the feature we have developed out of the requirement we received. Or in some cases it might be ends like that, we don't want this feature, so we remove it from the software as well. So in this way, we are saying that implemented or retired, something like that, that you can try to understand. Now next point is it helps in tracking requirements to ensure they meet business needs. We here also will see a small example. Let's say the business want faster customer service means customer there in every industry, whether it is banking, insurance, or whatsoever, there is a support department which is specially dedicated for customer services. Now let's say if we have a requirement like automate ticket response, means any customer raise any complaint, it comes in the software in the form of ticket. It's a normal nomenclature that in software any request comes, we call it as a ticket. So what exactly stakeholder want? Whenever any ticket come, whenever any request comes in the system, it will get automated response like that. We have received your system, we have received your issue, we have received your concern, whatsoever, we have received your ticket, and we have created this case, and we will send them acknowledgement email to them. So this is called as automate ticket response. So we need to keep checking that this is still support that goal. Means let us assume that we have implemented this, but even after the implementation we need to keep checking that it is still working what exactly it is meant for. So if in case it is not working as we suggested or as we have implemented, then we need to change it, we need to update it, something like that. In this way we judge the requirement come and whether it is still meet the business need. Then the next point is it ensures that the changes to requirements are properly evaluated before approval. Well, imagine someone want to add new payment option, means this is the requirement, new payment option. Well, before jumping into it, we ask, means direct writing down it in as a requirement. Yeah, you are telling me that you want new payment action or new payment option, okay, we will develop it. It's not like that. We don't directly jump on such thing. We ask them how much time will it take, does it affect other features, or means only after evaluating all these things, then we decide whether to approve or the change we they have suggested we are implement in our software system. It's not like that they stakeholders say this and stakeholder asked to develop anything and we suddenly start developing. No, it's not like that. We check the whether it affect other features, other system as well. Then the next point is it keeps all stakeholder aligned what is needed and what has changed. Well, say we update a requirement from send email confirmation to send SMS confirmation. Means initially the requirement was like that. Any just we have seen the example of ticket. Someone has raised the concern on our system that this particular function is not working for me, then where we send email confirmation, kind of via email we they give them acknowledgement. But instead of email confirmation, now they want SMS confirmation. Means it is like a requirement need to be updated. So who should be involved in this thing? Everyone, like developer, tester, business folks also, which are not directly involved here, should know that about this change, so they are not working with outdated information. Means we this is our duty during the requirement lifecycle management to tell everyone that requirement is updated. Now I guess you have a little bit idea what exactly requirement lifecycle management is. Now let's see the importance of requirement lifecycle management. It ensures clarity and control over requirements from start to finish. It helps in impact analysis when changes occur. It supports stakeholder collaboration by keeping requirement transparent. Well, stakeholder collaboration is very important to keep the requirement transparent. Then it ensures the final solution meets the business goal and customer needs. Well, this is for which we are developing any system or we are developing any software, that it should meet the business goal and it should satisfy the customer needs. Now let's check the steps involved in requirement lifecycle management. Step 1, trace requirement. Step 2, maintain requirement. Step 3, prioritize requirement. Step 4, assess requirement changes, and step 5, approve requirements. So we will see all these steps one by one and we'll see what happened during these steps, what happened during stage of requirement lifecycle management. So we'll start with trace requirements. Requirement tracing is the process of tracking and managing the relationship between different requirements throughout the project lifecycle. Well, requirement tracing is a kind of like connecting the dots. It helps us how different requirements related to each other. Well, let's take an example again. If we have a feature like user login, means every if for every system, every software, any mobile app, we need to put the login username, then we put to password. So user login is something which is the our feature, is our future feature sorry, not future, is our feature, is our requirement. So this feature might be linked with other things like password reset or two factor authentication. So tracing helps us keep track all these connections so nothing get missed. Means what tracing requirement means, again I am repeating, when any requirement comes that regarding the user login, we trace this requirement, whether it is related to other requirement also, like whether it is related to password, then whether it is related to two factor authentication, something like that. So this overall process, we call it as a requirement tracing. And what next is, it ensures that every requirement is aligned with business objective and properly implemented in the final solution. Well, this just means we check if each requirement actually support what the business wants. Like if the goal is to improve customer experience, then a requirement like live chat support should be there, which clearly connect the goal. Means if we want to improve the customer experience, nowadays there are chatbot, so we can implement that chatbot. We suggest such things also, means such as objective to the stakeholder as well, and this is the objective to improve the customer experience, and we make sure it's included in the final project and not left behind. Means once we have decided that we need to improve the customer experience, and we have, for that uh, we decided to use live chat support, or we decided chatbot as well. So it's not like that we are leaving that feature behind. If we are working on 1,000 feature, this feature is also included in the final solution. So we are tracing each and every requirement during this step, during this stage of requirement lifecycle management. Well, it's not like that we are saying and doing it. There are proper technique, and we need to follow that technique for tracing the requirement. There are two technique: requirement traceability matrix, which is very popular, and dependency analysis. So we'll see what is requirement traceability matrix and dependency analysis. Requirement traceability matrix. So we are at first technique of tracing the requirement. Well, a requirement traceability matrix is a document that tracks each requirement throughout the project lifecycle. It helps ensure that no requirement are missed. Means we are not leaving back any requirement. I just gave you the example of chatbot, where we where we saw that we want this particular feature along with all other 1,000 feature were there. So it's not like that we are leaving that feature. So we are tracing each and every requirement, and for that this technique is used. Well, it is kind of it is kind of in a tabular form, where we generally use these columns which I have noted down here: requirement ID, business need, requirement description, then solution component, test cases, and ID status. So let's see one by one. Requirement ID means what is it? What its requirement ID means? It is a unique identifier for each requirement. Let's say BR001, BR002, something like that. We provided any requirement. Then business need, the reason why this particular requirement is necessary. What is the goal? What is the business need? What exactly end user wants? So this is the business need we have mentioned here. Means obviously in short, not in detail. Then requirement description, then here we write down it in the requirement form. Then the next column is solution component, then how we will implement this particular requirement, how we will convert it into the solution, something like that, a system module. This such things are noted down here. And then once we have implemented this, then the next second last column is test case ID. Means if we have implemented, we need to check it whether it is working or not. Means we need to test it. It's not like that we have developed it. We means developer develop it, and we directly provide it to the customer to have a look at this, something not like that. We check it properly whether it is working or not. The QAs are there who help us in this, and there is a particular test case ID for that TC101, TC102. I just provided the example. And the last is status, which shows the implementation progress, whether it is implemented, whether it is in progress, whether it is even not started as well. So something like that, such things are collaborated in the requirement traceability matrix, and creates, it gives 10,000 feet view of what exactly going on in the project with respect to the requirement. So now let's implement this in our loan management system, and let's check how it works. Here, see how it is created, means properly. Here we write it down that it is a version 1.0 for LMS requirement traceability matrix. Generally tool use MS, we use spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet, or Microsoft MS Excel. So these are very popular tool we used. And apart from that, there are other also Jira software and other also been used, but for me, I generally use MS Excel. I'm much more comfortable with this. Let's see what exactly in the this particular requirement traceability matrix. So first is requirement ID. I wrote it down as BR001. So what is the business need? Business need is taken from the business requirement document. So the need is enable online loan application. Okay, that's the requirement they have, the business need they have provided to us. Now we have converted that business need into requirement and noted down into functional requirement document. And from functional requirement document, we capture that customer should be able to apply for loans. So this is the requirement description. Means business provided that they want enable online loan application, nothing more than that. In requirement, what we need to do for that, means what is exactly idea behind that. So idea was customer should be able to apply loans for online. So then how to provide solution for that. So the online loan application form should be there. So this is the solution component. So we create online loan application form for that. Then once it is created, then we need to test it. So for testing, the code is provided TC101. We will see test what is TC101 in depth in upcoming slide. And the status is implemented. So this particular thing is implemented. So see how we have traced the requirement right from it born until it gets retired or until it gets implemented. So what exactly I am trying to tell you during the definition of RLCM as well. Then next is BR002, reduce loan processing time. Well, this is the need, but then what is exact requirement? Then system should auto validate loan application document. That's quite fair, that system should auto validate loan application document, so it will definitely reduce the loan processing time. So then what we need to do, what solution is for that? Then automate document verification system. So this is the software team will do, this is the development team will do. Then we QA team will test it, and now the status is in progress, means it's not like that it implemented, or it's not like that it is not even started. Now we'll shift to the BR004. BR004, where we provide real-time update to customer. System should send real-time send SMS email notification on loan status. So here we need to create notification system for SMS or email, and the test case ID is TC104, and this particular requirement is not even started yet. So we have noted down not started. Now I guess you have a fair idea what is requirement traceability matrix. We will see in short what is a test case ID here now, so that you will get a broader picture as well. Well, before we move, there another tool which I have mentioned earlier, the Jira software is also used for this particular RTM. Now let's move. Well, test case. Well, again here tool uses MS Excel, which is very popular. So how test case table is written down? First is test case ID, then test case description. Test case means whatever we have created before it is implemented, we test it whether it is working properly or not. And for that we write it down the steps one by one, and we test it like this, and we provide it to the stakeholder also, see how we have tested, and there is no, there is no flaw during the testing, everything is working fine, are you fine with this, then they approve the software or system or a feature we have developed, and then we deploy it. So let's see test case id, just will read it out here. Test case description is verify that customer can successfully apply for loan online. So preconditions are here: user must be logged in, then loan application page should be accessible. So test steps involve navigate to the loan application page, filling the requirement detail and submit the form. So the expected result: loan application should be submitted successfully and confirmation should be displayed. So this is the expected result after doing all these steps. If this come positive, then we can say that yes, it is fine. If it is not positive, then we will then QA team will, convey it to the developer that it's not working as expected. It is called, there is some bug, something like that. They convey it to the development team regarding this. Then there are other three column: actual result, status and comments, means whether it is pending execution, then status is not executed, or executed means as per the result. If it is executed, then we write it out executed. Then we comment like ready for testing, ready for deployment, something like that. All these things are involved in test cases. So I hope now you have idea, very means good idea regarding what exactly requirement traceability matrix and how we are using this technique for tracing the requirement. Then there is another method, last method, dependency analysis. We'll see this as well. So this technique identifies how different requirements are linked. We have seen this thing earlier also, how different requirements are linked. This means we figure out which requirements are connected to each other and which requirement are dependent to each other. For example, if we change the user login process, it might affect the forget password, it might affect the two-factor authentication. Tracing helps us to see those links clearly so we don't miss anything important. It's same what we have seen in the earlier in this particular tutorial. Then helps access the impact of changes in one requirement on other. Well, let's say we update the way users sign up. Maybe we add a mobile number verification, means during the sign up, it's like that we add a mobile, we ask them, customer, we ask customer to provide you a mobile number, and then OTP is sent to the customer number, that's something like that. So this change might also affect how we store user data, or how welcome email is sent, means there are email notification also, SMS notification also, and how to store the data is another thing. So all these things are interconnected. So tracing, such thing helps us to understand the ripple effect of one change on rest of the system. So this is all about the thing help access impact of change in one requirement to the other. Well, we'll take another example in our loan management system which will clear get a clear idea regarding dependency analysis. If requirement is that loan application should be proceed within 24 hours, well, this thing depends on another requirement. System should support automated document verification. If system is supporting the automated document verification, then definitely this requirement which telling is that TAT means TAT of that particular loan application should be 24 hours. So any delay in implementing the document verification will definitely impact the loan processing time. So in this way we can say that if we satisfy that document verification, then definitely it will satisfy the TAT of 24 hours. So this we can say that these are something which are interconnected, which are dependent. So this is we called is a dependent analysis. Now let's check challenges in requirement tracing. Well, challenges comes in any form. It may be incomplete traceability. Then how we overcome it? It is like we maintain a detailed requirement traceability matrix from the beginning. So this is the one point solution, that if there is something like that incomplete traceability kind of challenges are there, maintain the requirement traceability matrix. This is very important. Then frequently changing requirement. Then what if requirements are changing, then how we can overcome this particular obstacle? Use version control and track all the changes. I have just shown you that the version 1.0 I use, then requirement change come, then we change that particular table, we use version 2.0, something like that, so that stakeholder and the developer also get idea of exactly which is the current version, which is the updated version. Then lack of stakeholder involvement, well, there are some stakeholder, those who show the resistance. So be it's at the end of the day, our job is to involve each and every stakeholder during the requirement gathering, requirement traceability, whatsoever you say. But without stakeholders permission, we are not moving by inch. So at the end of the day, we need to conduct regular review meeting with stakeholder, whether they are showing the interest or not. Then the last is poor documentation. Well, this part is handled by centralized repository like Jira, Confluence, and Excel. Means we can store all the document at one place and give the access, all the access of this document to the all important persons, stakeholder involved in the project. And the final is key takeaways of requirement tracing. Means the first step of requirement lifecycle management is tracing the requirement. So the conclusion is that requirement tracing ensures that every requirement is properly linked to business needs and solution components. Then requirement traceability matrix is crucial tool that helps in tracking requirement throughout the project lifecycle. Then impact analysis helps in assessing how changes in one requirement affect the other. Means impact means dependency analysis, what we have seen. And the last, proper traceability ensures smooth testing, validation, and implementation of the feature, system, software, whatever we are developing. So this is all about tracing requirement in requirement lifecycle management. Let us check another step in requirement lifecycle management. We have already seen the trace requirement. Now we are at the maintain requirement. Well, maintaining requirement ensures that the requirement should remain accurate, up to date, and reusable throughout the project lifecycle. This means we don't just write requirements and we forget about it. We keep them update if anything changes. Let's take example. If a rule changes, that there might be rule that the your user must enter 4 digit pin rather for any kind of password. Now it is like that, instead of 4 digit pin, the user must enter 6 digit pin. So this is the rule, this happened because of rule change. So what we will do, we will update the requirements, so every team involved here should get the latest information and they develop on the basis of that. So it maybe we can and it's like we can use this particular feature in the future as well. Means we implemented in the loan management system, we can implement it into the credit management as well. So we can use this particular feature again and again. We call it as a reusing that particular feature. Then the this phase requirement means the maintain requirement. This phase means what? Maintain requirement in requirement lifecycle management focuses on ensuring requirement consistency and integrity as the system evolves. Means system is evolving day by day, it gets updated, upgraded. So it should ensure that requirement consistency and integrity should be intact. So as the project moves forward and new means what exactly here we are trying to tell, as the project moves forward and new features are added or old ones change, we make sure all requirements still make sense and don't contradict each other. Like if we add a feature that stores user preferences, we check that it doesn't conflict with existing data privacy rules in other requirement as well. So if we are implementing any new feature, it should not hamper the another feature, something like that we are trying to tell here. So this is nothing but ensuring the requirement consistency and integrity. So this is all about the what is the maintain requirement. And the key goals are, while maintaining the requirement, are ensure requirements remain relevant, then allow for reusability in the future projects, then keep them aligned with business and regulatory changes, then maintain traceability and consistency as well. Well, while maintaining the requirement, there are few activities we need to follow. It's not like that we are mugging, we need to mug up it's entirely. We need to follow this particular process. A overall business analyst is something, it is process, it is not formula, it is means which is written, and we are working on that particular formula. It is entire process, we follow that particular process, we live that particular process, in short. So we are into the maintaining requirement. So first is identifying requirement changes, then ensuring requirement consistency, then reusing requirement for future enhancement, then managing requirement conflicts, and validating requirement with stakeholders. So we will see all the requirement one by one, and it's quite interesting as well. So first, identifying requirement changes. Well, requirement changes due to regulatory update, means requirement changes may come due to regulatory update, business need may get changed, then customer feedback come and customer are not happy with the current feature, they want different features, so again the requirement gets changed. Then the technical advancement as well, means as the technical is getting evolved day by day, so as per the advancement, requirement may get changed. So identifying and managing these changes ensures the loan management, means we are trying to collate all these things with our loan management system. That's why I use this word. Which means that identifying and managing these changes ensure that our loan management system remain effective. Let's take with example. Scenarios that a new government regulation mandate additional income verification for loan application. So impact on this particular additional requirement may impact that the loan application module must include an extra document upload option. Means the mandate from the government is that additional income verification loan application, income certificates or something like that, that should be there. So the impact is, while filling the form, we have already created one feature that which allows to upload the document as well. So we need to include this thing also, means we provide one link where we tell them to add your income certificate, and it gets included as an extra document for upload option. So how to handle it? Monitor external factor like regulation, means how to handle entire identifying requirement changes I am talking about. Monitor external factor like regulation, market trends, and stakeholder feedback. Then use change request document to log required modification. Then perform stakeholder analysis to assess the impact of changes, means any requirement changes comes, we analyze with the stakeholder and we see whether how it is impacted. Well, we will see these requirement changes in detail in I guess step number 4 for this particular requirement lifecycle management. Now next is ensuring requirement consistency. When requirement changes, it may affect multiple dependent requirements. Consistency ensures that all linked requirements remain aligned. Well, it is quite simple, means it changes, then it is dependent requirement also gets changed. So we want consistency, and that is nothing but maintaining requirement. We ensure in the maintaining requirement, we ensure that consistency is maintained. Let's check it with the example. So scenario is that if the interest rate calculation formula is updated, then it affect other also loan processing module, new calculation applied at loan approval, then EMI calculation, here updated EMI schedule for customer, then loan repayment module, so here revised schedule and recalculation total payable amount. So this is the scenario. We come to know that calculation interest rate calculation formula is changing. So the other dependent things are that loan processing module, EMI calculation, loan repayment, they will also get changed. So we need to update these features as well. So this is how we maintain the consistency. So how to handle requirement consistency? There are various way. Conduct an impact analysis using requirement traceability matrix, then update business requirement document, functional requirement document. These two documents are main documents while for the any business analysis, so we need to update it. We haven't seen BRD and FRD. It's quite it's separate tutorial we have dedicated to it. Then ensure all impacted system components are modified accordingly. So in this way we ensure that requirement are properly maintained and it is maintaining the consistency. Now next is reusing requirements for future enhancement. Some requirements are generic and can be reused in different projects, reducing rework and improving efficiency. Well, example is very straightforward. The KYC verification process is implemented for loan application, can be reused in credit card application, mortgage loan processing, auto loan application. So KYC is kind of it is kind of audio call received by the customer. Then their other proofs are identified, signatures are identified. So all this thing included in the KYC verification. If this is implemented in the during the loan application, then this might be applied to other product as well. Like credit card is different independent product, so this particular KYC verification can be used there also. So in this way we can use this particular thing. Then how to handle it? Well, how to handle this reuse thing? Well, identify requirements with highly reusability, that KYC authentication, something like that. Store them in a centralized repository for future reference. This is very important. There should be one centralized repository where it is stored and where we can say that you can take this particular requirement if you wish to reuse it. Then standardize the requirement format to make reuse easy. So in this way we can use the reuse the requirement. So this is a part of maintaining the requirement. And the next is managing requirement conflict. Now this is very important and interesting as well. Conflict arises when different stakeholder have competing their priorities. Means a structured the conflict may be in any organization. There are conflict. So as far as the priorities of which feature should go first, which feature should go last, on that basis also there are various conflicts. And means you won't imagine, this is the skill of a business analyst to handle this particular thing. So the structured approach is needed to resolve such conflict. Let's take example. The compliance team wants manual approval for high value loan above $50,000 to prevent fraud, while the business team wants full automation for efficiency. They few wants manual loan approval should be there. Few want that no, we want entire automation should be there, because in the automation the process get very fast. In manual it gets slow, but in manual the chances of fraud are very less, something like that. This is the idea behind this. So then how to handle it? Then we need to negotiate on the middle ground, like loan which are less than 50,000 fully automated for approval. Loan greater than 50,000, then $50,000, then manual approval may be required, something like that. Conduct requirement workshop with stakeholder, then use decision matrix to weigh risk versus benefit. Means there is a one methodology where we risk versus benefits are calculated, and on the basis of that also the final decision is taken. So this is the managing the requirement conflict in the maintaining the requirement. And the last is validating requirement with stakeholder. Well, stakeholder validation ensures that maintained requirements still align with business goals and regulatory needs. Well, this is very important, that whatever the feature, whatever the out of means we are developing any feature out of any requirement, it should be aligned with the business goal and the regulatory need. So we need to take care with this as well. Well, example is here that IT team implemented multi-factor authentication for loan approval. Well, validation needed. So the validation needed form is security team. Here they verify compliance with data protection law, and customer experience team ensures smooth user experience. So this is validation we needed from security team as well as customer experience team while we are implementing this particular feature. How to handle this validation: conduct stakeholder review session before implementation, perform user acceptance testing with business user, gather feedback and refine requirement if needed. So in this way we can say that we can validate the requirement with a stakeholder. And the tool for maintaining requirement are Jira, Excel for change management, which helps in tracing the requirement update link and dependency, and Confluence for documentation, which is very good, which helps in store requirement version, business justification and all these things. Well, it depends upon organization to organization. We use the few use this particular very famous tools which are popular in the industry. Few may use different as. Now let's conclude this tutorial with first two steps involved in requirement lifecycle management, and in quickly wrap up we can say that we have covered the first two steps of requirement lifecycle management, that is trace requirement and maintaining the requirement. Well, this foundational task ensure that requirement stays aligned with business goals and remain accurate over the time. Together, they set a stage of effective change management and long-term solutions success as we move further into RLCM process. I guess by now you should have a clear understanding of how to trace and maintain requirements effectively. The ultimate goal is to ensure that the developers receives precise and actionable requirements for building the software, while stakeholders receives a solution that truly meets their expectation. In the upcoming tutorial, we will deep dive into how to prioritize requirements effectively. So, before we wrap up, just one last thought to leave you with. Thanks a ton for sticking around. If this video helped you even a little, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and drop any questions you have got in the comments. I love hearing from you. And if you haven't, please smash that subscribe button and let's keep exploring the awesome world of business analysis together. Catch you in the next one. Thank you very much.